to strike him. Because that even mere contact of him on that day, knowingly or unknowingly, Master has sent some seed in his heart. His very presence. That's what the great teachers do. They may not talk it, they may not even answer straightforward, but their intention is, when I can awaken this man's tamasic qualities and rajasic qualities into something. So the time came, right time, and at that time if he opens that book, before he must have opened several times, now if he opens, what he'll see in that? Something which he never experienced, because his mind was ready, tuned. So Master is not even looking at that time. His question will be answered sometime in the life at the right time, and already the books are there, and when you open there, it will be, the answer will be there. So that is the way the great teachers, they try to teach. Very few people have the patience to wait for. So that is why the gunpowder teachers like Swami Sivananda are not good directly to come to a ordinary people. It's not because they don't want, they do come, but when they come, they either misunderstand their philosophy, their subject, or they won't get any benefit at all, or they will be turned away. And so what Master will do to camouflage, not to attract curiosity people, that is why he was putting these chairs and tables and typewriters. You know what's the purpose of it? So the emotional type curiosity people who come to Master, oh great Master, you are a God reader, so they will come prostrate before him thinking Master is going to give some type of bliss. Master doesn't care about this type of people to come. It's not, he doesn't, because if they come, they will be turned away by because he is not going to help them much. So he said, if you are ready to come to me. At that time, whether I am having overcoat or whether I am speaking English, my books are in English, you will understand me. This went on. Throughout his life, he tried to camouflage his ancient days. Many sages used to wander like what? Like mendicants or madmen. They sometimes act like fools, so that ordinary people won't get. Only real people will see. Literally, they will act like madmen. They will only just wander around and they just sit under the trees without no one knows, because it's another person sitting under the tree. Many ways they try to avoid the ordinary masses, because masses won't understand them unless they are ready. So Master did not just wander aimlessly or sat under the tree with ashes and acted like madman, but he acted like what?
Normal man.
Like a businessman. So also people don't understand it. A spiritual person is acting like a businessman, immediately they will turn off. So this is the way all great masters, somehow they fool the humanity. Thinking, make the humanity thought they are greater than the sages. So this is the typical highest type of Swatik gurus. They are unable to really come and make the people understand what they are talking about. They have to use their chief disciples to bring their message, because they will explain and understand the teacher, and then they will make the student. So they are only the student, their chief disciples. How are they able to communicate to the ordinary masses? How? Why? Because those students also have most of the problems with the ordinary people. So they can see the problem of the other people. So they can come to their level and then they can talk to their language. Just like what do you call that? Lots of slang English. What do you call slang? Like I dig you. Well. No spiritual master will use any slang language. But suppose there are some people who understand only, if he says, I love you, they won't understand. Oh, I dig you. Look at that. He is my type. He is my type. So they understand the human problem because themselves gone through their problems and reached the stage so they can see where they are. So they are easily able to come. For example, there's a great Einstein PhD. Now you bring Einstein to teach second grade, third grade students about science. How successful he will be? Not very. He will not be able to communicate at all because he's of course he's a great Einstein PhD. He knows all about. But when you come to third grade, fourth grade student, he has to start teaching science, mathematics. He will be an utter failure. But a kindergarten teacher, without having any PhD degree, will be able to teach that third and fourth grade much better than Einstein, is it not? Yeah. We put that example also in spiritual life too. It is not possible for great masters to come. Even if they come, it will be. But true disciples who are with the masters, they know it. Many hundreds of students came to the master. How many stayed with Swami Sivananda? Thousands of Swamis, master made into Swamis, and hundreds of the students. But many stayed in the ashram for 3, 4, 5 years. And then what happened to most of the people who stayed with the Master Sivananda while he was alive? What happened to them? Not only they left, they became completely against yoga and Sivananda. Because when you are very closely associated with the great master, it's just like sitting under the shade all the time. You never know how beautiful this cool breeze and the cool shade, is it not, if you are sitting here? Only if you are coming from a hot desert sun, when they suddenly come to this cool breeze and under the shade, what they think? How nice it is. Did anyone actually appreciate it, sitting under this tree, how cool and how wonderful it is? Did anyone appreciate it? Yeah. But I mentioned it, you appreciate it, because you are polite to me, you see. Just to be polite. But if you are really coming out from the hot desert sun, suddenly you found a nice, beautiful green grass and shade and the water and the fountains. Without my announcing, what you will say? How nice this shade is, how cool the breeze is, how wonderful this place looks. That's the first reaction you will have. Before even I start talking to you, you will be commenting about the atmosphere. You will feel it. So when you come first time to a teacher, you are coming from hot deserts of the world. When you say first time Swami Vishnu-devananda, oh, he's great, wonderful. Then after a few weeks you stay with him. I know him. I know his talk. I know what he's teaching. There's no awakening, nothing. I don't know what. I didn't get any inspiration. I didn't get any perspiration from him. Inspiration or perspiration, you see? Because the close contact is just like, if you are continuously sitting under the shade and enjoying this, you will never able to appreciate it. So, your faith starts waning. You don't have the mind to lift yourself up. So you will be seeing with your colored glass. You are having a red glass, you will see everything red. So it became more and more red and green and yellow and orange for you. Not the truth. That is why they left Master Sivananda. And this has happened to in many students, in not only to Sivananda, Ramakrishna. How many people left Ramakrishna? How many people left Vivekananda? How many people, Rama Maharshi and Ramdas? Invariably it happens to all. Only few sincere people stuck with the teacher. Same Jesus, how many millions of people stayed with him? Just 12. Out of the 12, one became traitor also. He became the destruction of the teacher. That is exist. So you can see in Sivananda's came down, there will be always some bad potato will be there in the disciple. Always. So what is I'm talking about is, great masters cannot teach you unless you are highly evolved. And the vast majority of the students are not evolved. They only want a fast buck without working. They want a fast, enough spiritual buck. and they get wrong bug. What kind of bug? Flu. And when they get flu, they get fever. And when they get fever, they get delirium. Delirium, diarrhea, and so forth. And that's the most of the students only get from the spiritual path pain, not happiness, because they come with the wrong idea. So that is why spiritual masters or highly advanced masters are not many. If they are, people won't understand, and they will teach whatever they can, but they make their disciples to go. Now the second type of Sattvic teachers are not like the gunpowder teachers. They are the teachers who sit with the students and they discuss their problems. They become part and parcel of the student's life, because their karma has to work out in that way. They have to purify themselves. The teacher himself has to purify. Though he has reached a very high stage, still he cannot get the full absolute bliss, because he has got lots of karma to work out. Though he is, at that time, he has to have ashrams and disciples and talking, and this type of teachings will come up. Regular teachings of Upanishad, Vedas, and the proper teachings what we get. This is the type of ancient Gurukula system. Most of the teachers done this type of, Sattvic teachers, this type of teaching through proper discipline, training with theory and practice, and then they dedicated their life to the students, and the students dedicate their life to the teacher. This is the way they progress. Now when you come to that second type, they're all just like the Sattvic teacher, but they have to work out their karma, and they become the chief disciples of the great masters, and they will bring up the knowledge. Now comes the Rajasic teachers, second type of thing. They are the people, example like Reverend
Moon.
Presley on Moon. Sun and Moon and Yin and Yang. He is Reverend Moon. He is trying to unite the churches, and he is, in the name of Jesus, will do anything to satisfy his ego, to satisfy his emotions and greed. And they are always self-centered and selfish. They are very arrogant. You can easily see these Rajasic teachers when they approach the students, how they present themselves. How do they present?
Better than anybody. Superior.
They try to present themselves in a particular atmosphere, in a particular condition, by creating a theatrical environment. That's right. It is not a direct approach. If they do direct approach, immediately you will see his faults, and he doesn't want to have faults, but he has got faults more than the students. Because students come with, of course they got selfish and they want something to get for doing nothing. And here he is promising, I can give you anything you want. You want Brahman? Okay, $20. If you want Vishnu, $50. If you want Lord Krishna, you can see for $100. They got everything for a price. You can get anything. And they will sell their souls also. Even they sell their mothers and grandmothers. As one of the Nixon's aides said, is it not? In order to get Nixon elected, who said that? I'll walk over my grandmother. Somebody said, you remember that name? Colson. You remember that? He said, before Nixon was second time elected, the Colson, what is he? What was he? He was a special assistant to, and he said second time when he is elected, before elected, I will walk over my grandmother to get my,